if Alexa can answer the question that you're posing to your students, it's a bad question. We don't want to teach these kids to be able to look up facts. We want them to think about things in more deep ways.
Yeah. And yes, decision making and synthesizing information so you can get a more holistic picture of where we're headed and all of the things you're perhaps not considering or you're missing out. I mean, that's one of the items that we wanted to talk about as a takeaway from this. If we circle back to some of the things that people can do, after this session, is to focus on using AI for getting a more holistic view. So you had an example that you use AI for, saying whenever you try to think of an idea or of a position.
So I've decided I've eschewed the language of AI as a thinking partner. I don't want to anthropomorphize AI. It's a tool, but I find that it can be a really valuable tool. I am often trying to synthesize very large amounts of data and email and reading, and to be able to say, hey, here's all of this that got dumped on my desk this morning. What am I really, based on what I have shared with you, AI, over all these months of conversation, what's most important for me? Prioritize this. That's a great efficiency. And now I can use my judgment in dealing with that information. I can say, I have this idea, and I really think such and such is true, but I need to know who else is thinking like this. Show me the references to people who are thinking like this, or articles about this. And he might come back and say, oh, you're a genius and you're so, the only person in the world. And I totally know can't possibly be true. Right? So then I start to ask questions like, so tell me what's wrong with my argument. What are the flaws? What am I missing? Forcing the tools to start digging and looking in a different way for things that I would do if I had, endless hours and a giant library. Fortunately, I do have that now, right? I have this in this large language model. And so what I love, and there's a chapter in this book written by Hal Gregersen, and I just think it's so important because he talks about asking the right questions, asking better questions. Well, I think that's true with AI too, right? I can ask it questions in a way that go deeper than the obvious, right? It's really good at pulling that stuff out, and sometimes it finds a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense at all, and sometimes it makes stuff up. But if we apply our critical thinking and our critical questioning to the tool, I think we get to some better and more interesting, I think, self-discovery, right? Where I think X is true, and now after spending 30 minutes really probing that, I see where I missed something. And now it changes the way I think about this thing. That's not AI telling me how to think. That's AI helping me surface other perspectives. And I think that's a better use than, please write a 3-page memo telling me all the things that I need to tell my boss about the plan that she wants me to build.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the fact that it's actually applicable to everything we do today, right? Rather than getting it to write the report, what is it that I haven't thought about? What are some of the considerations that I didn't think with this approach, and people are not really buying into it? Or we've got a new project starting up and there's some challenges laid out along the way. What should I be thinking about alongside those challenges that, I haven't encountered before?
What would surprise me? What
would surprise me? I love that.
What are the reasons this might fail? There's a concept I love of a pre-mortem, right? And you're starting a project. We're very good at doing post-mortem. We did this project, and why did it fail, or what happened in it? But to do a pre-mortem, to start with, what could go wrong, and what can we learn about what we need to do based on an understanding of what could go wrong or how this could fail? I mean, those are kind of questions you can ask a large language model and get some insights that prevent you from making those mistakes in the first place. So I think they're again, it's asking good questions in a way that starts to turn the prism and give you different perspectives. But then you take your own intelligence and your own lived experience and do that synthesis to make your own recommendations or to form your own strategy and action.